Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video that's very different to normal. Normally I review coins, normally I go in depth in terms of, low cap gems, micro cap gems, etc. But in this video I'm actually going to be doing a question which I get constantly from my subscribers, from my Patreons, from people on Twitter, basically all over social media. And that question is, how much should I put into micro cap gems and low cap gems? And it's a really great question, but my answer is always the same. It depends on your risk tolerance and it depends how much money you've got. If you've only got $100 to play around with, you can be far more risky than if you're putting your life savings of 100 grand in. That's just common sense. But in this video, I'm going to basically do some maths, basically do some calculations on, you know, potential strategies. But one thing I need to say is this is completely down to you. You're talking about how much money you should invest in. You should be the one making that decision, not me. I'm just here to lay out some potential strategies and lay out some potential calculations and prove to you guys some risk reward strategies depending on risk tolerance. I won't be telling you guys the exact amount that I have in my personal portfolio. That's for the Patreons to see. If you want to see my exact portfolio and the exact percentage I personally have to low cap gems, micro cap gems, high caps, how much Bitcoin do I have? How much Ethereum do I have, if any, right? If you want to see these really, insightful statistics, the best place to be is over on my Patreon. And this is the only way you can gain access, essentially. If you just want to see my portfolio, for £12 a month, you can get access to my portfolio. But if you want to see it update in real time, if you want to see my buy alerts the day they come out, rather than waiting many days, grab this elite tier and you can see my market moves pretty much to the second that I do them. So straight into the video. As always, not financial advice. So I just want to basically lay the ground out here with a few definitions. Okay, some basic definitions. Now, these are very ambiguous. These are up for interpretation. They're in the eye of the beholder. And this is basically how I like to define them. Okay, you can define them however you want. But for the purpose of this video, I've come up with some sort of criteria. So for a low cap, I'm defining this as any cryptocurrency with a market cap under 100 million. Okay. And low caps, you tend to look for 100x gems. Okay. Sometimes low caps can be 1000x gems. Sometimes they can be less than 100x. But generally, when you're looking at 80 million in market cap, 50 million in market cap, you do like to hope that they could do 100x and maybe get to 5 billion in market cap. So they're low caps. Okay. And then we've got micro caps, which are even lower than low caps, which is generally under 10 million. So these are super, super small. Again, give or take a few million. If it's 20 million in market cap, you can still consider it as a low cap. I'm just coming up with this criteria for this video so that we have some, essential groundworks. Now, that would be 1000x, okay? A micro cap is 1000x potential. If you've got a coin with only, 1 million in market cap, 1000x on that is very doable. So that's the type of gains that you're looking for in microcaps. So now, again, this question I get all the time: how much should I put into microcaps? It depends how risky you want to be. If you've got family, if you've got children, you've not got much to fall back on. You've got, essentially liabilities, or you've got costs that you need to pay every single week or whatever. You can't do that, right? I'm young. I don't have, children. I don't have any of this, so I don't have to worry about, restarting my finances. Okay. I do have money over in the S&P 500, emergency bag if anything ever happens to crypto, God forbid. But I can take a more risky approach to crypto because I'm not having to feed, my children. So I completely understand and I have empathy for people in that situation. But again, you don't want to go too risky. So what I'm going to outline here is how you can actually have a balanced approach, which can guarantee you some good gains, whilst also having and laying the groundwork for some potential in terms of 1000x's. So what we're going to deal with here is $1,000, very small amount of money. This is what we're just going to deal with, because I know some people, they only want to put $1,000 into crypto. They don't want to risk much. So they only have $1,000, right? Now, what I would say with this is, when you've only got $1,000, you can be much more risky than if you've got $1 million. Okay. I've actually lowered down the risk a bit in terms of my portfolio as I've gained more money. because what you realize is it's sometimes good to maintain rather than go too risky. Okay. So if you've got $1,000, this is what I would potentially do. Again, not financial advice. 10% into low caps. Okay. So again, low caps, for a reminder for everyone, that's under 100 million. So you're looking for 100x on them. If this goes to plan, it's very unlikely that it will, but if it does go to plan, you would look to turn $100 out of the 1,000 into $10,000. Okay. It could do more. It could do much less. We don't really know. The types of projects that I would look into this category are projects like CheckDot, projects like Lanceria, projects like RPG, many risky projects, but they could easily do 100x or 1,000x rather. Okay, so 100x because it's low caps. For the micro caps, these are the 1,000x gems that you're looking for. If all goes to plan, you would put that 5% in, that $50 would turn to $50,000. So there's always a chance that it doesn't go to plan. It's less likely that it'll completely go wrong. You probably meet somewhere in the middle. Maybe you'll get a 50x, right? But there's always that chance that you could lose it completely. Now, if it doesn't go to plan, because you're only putting in 15% in total, you will lose $150. Okay. But let's say you were smart with the other 85% of your portfolio. You put it into projects like Quant, Algorand, Matic, HBAR, Cadena, Gala, these types of projects, solid high caps, solid mid caps. Maybe you went for a bit of VeChain, maybe you went for Polkadot. I don't know. But these types of projects, which are probably going to guarantee you a 15x, right? What would happen is you would turn the $850 remaining into 12.7K. So you're still making some relatively good money. So the reason I like this approach is because it's not an all or nothing portfolio. And this is something which I strongly disapprove of, is an all or nothing approach in crypto. You want to also maintain the fact that whatever you do, you will make profits. Whatever you do, this is something that you need to have. It's a good risk strategy. It's a good, basically, risk management strategy is no matter what you do, you will come out with more money than what you started in. And that's basically what will happen if it doesn't go to plan. If, however, everything went to plan and the projects which you aim for 1,000x got 1,000x, right? You just took it out at 1,000x. The projects that you aim for 100x got 100x. You took it out at 100x. You would turn your $1,000 investment into 72 grand. Okay. Very, very respectable. Now, the reason I like this approach is because you're not going too heavy into these lower microcaps, but at the same time, you can make some good money. Now, if you've got more money, if you're talking around the $1 million mark, right, which I understand is a lot of people in my Patreon, okay, a lot of the guys in the VIP Plus tier, they do have multiple millions that they want to invest, they want to inject into crypto. I completely understand. I'm in the same boat. Now, if you are in this kind of category, if you want to kind of maintain your wealth, you can just put 1% into these microcaps, 1%. And you start to truly realize the compounding effects, the huge effects that larger capital has. You can afford to put 1% in, and that will be 10 grand out of your million. And that 10 grand, if it 1,000x's, you're turning your 10 grand into 10 million. So it's much, much easier and much less risky. You could have the other 99% in Bitcoin and Ethereum for all I know, right? Maybe they both do a 5x combined, and you turn your 1 million into 15 million. Great. You could have your other 990K. You could have that in Matic, Cardano, Polkadot, VeChain, Quant, Gala, these solid projects. Maybe it does a 30x. You turn your 1 million into 30 plus the 10 million from the 1%, 40 million. So what I'm saying here is this question for me is sometimes annoying, but I made this video because I get it constantly. And what I would essentially say is don't go too heavy into microcaps, but it's always somewhat sensible to have some portion of your portfolio delegated towards microcaps, because at the end of the day, it can just be as little as 1%. And 1%, as in this situation, can turn you 10 million from 10 grand. Let's say we're going lower now. Let's say 1% is 1 grand. You turn 1 grand into 1 million. Let's go even lower. Okay. Like this situation here, $100 you can turn to 10K. It's certainly realistic, guys, but we're starting to lose time now, right? You're starting to get closer to the bull run, and the chances of you getting 1,000x as you get closer to the bull run is far less likely. For example, Viot is a project which I invested in. I was up 55x not that long ago. Okay. If I want that to 1,000x for me, all I need from here is around a 20x, okay, or less. So I got in early. I got into Viot at 800K in market cap. For me to get that 1,000x, all it needs to go to is 800 million. So you need to realize these calculations. You need to realize that the best time to buy is probably now. The best time to buy is probably in this bear market, because we're getting closer and closer to the halving. And as we get into 2024, that's when I would expect a lot of altcoins to start being on a crazy rally. So hopefully this video gave you guys some insights. Obviously, I didn't mean to tell you guys what to do here at all. It's completely up to you. I just wanted to lay out some potential calculations for what you could do. If you found it useful, informative, interesting, whatever, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you guys are new. If you want a lot more of this type of strategic content, right, rather than just merely low cap gem reviews, if you want more strategic content, the best place to be is over in my Patreon. It's linked in the description. I do weekly webinars with my VIP plus tier Patreons. Essentially, what I do is I go through things like this. I go through things like portfolio management. I give my Patreons loads of proposed portfolios for different risk takes. I'm actually in the process of doing that right now. I've done a low risk portfolio. I've done a mid risk portfolio. I've done a high risk portfolio. And the DGen all or nothing portfolio is on its way. So if you want to see all of this kind of behind the scenes content, all of this additional bonus content, the best place to be is over in the Patreon. Also, it's not just on the content front, right? You get to track every single part of my market moves. You get to see when I'm buying, when I'm selling, when I'm taking big profits, and even when my brain's considering buying a coin with the consideration alerts. So you can essentially run my brain waves through yourself, and you can see everything that I'm doing in crypto. The great bonus of this tier, which everyone harps on about, is the VIP Telegram group. Super active. We do hangout calls. We all share different projects. We all, are like-minded, and we all want to make a lot of money. So it's the best place to be. Your network is your net worth, and I truly believe that. Thank you guys all for watching. I look forward to seeing everyone in my next video. Goodbye.